This is the Digital BGA monthly leaderboard for January 2023. And what a month it was. Now, we typically post these on our social media channels. We're going to start doing these on YouTube because we want to give some context to some of the agents that you see on these leaderboards that are putting up these big numbers, because we see leaderboards all the time, but there's no context, right? How long have they been working in lead source? What are they doing to do that amount of premium? We're going to give that to you guys in this video, and if you guys like it, let us know in the comments, and we'll keep doing these on YouTube to explain how these agents are achieving such high premium numbers every single month, okay? So first you'll notice that we added a 30K and 40K club to our leaderboards. Before we only had 10K and 20K, and we do a top 10. So we've had more agents hitting the 30K and 40K club, and we're giving additional milestones to strive for here. So hopefully we'll be filling these up, and hopefully we'll have to do a 50K club at some point in the future, all right? So let's dig in here. Jordan W took the #1 spot again at Digital BGA in the month of January. So Jordan did $110,074 of annual premium, okay? And guys, that was no fluke. He's done it before. He's done $113,000, I think it was 5 or 6 months ago in this business, all right? So a little background on Jordan is he generates his own digital leads, right? He's simplified his business. Every single day he does the same thing. He generates his own leads, he works them locally and sells one company, all right? It's either one company or GI if they have to qualify for that. That's it, all right? Simplify your business. That's how you can put these big premium numbers up, all right? Do the same thing over and over if it's working and get better at it. All right, so great job, Jordan. Congratulations on another huge month. #2 spot was Ben E. So Ben did $63,686, okay? So in January, Ben took 211 TV calls and sold 48 of them, which is a 23% closing rate. Now that closing rate will increase because he'll still have some follow-ups from calls he took in January that he'll sell in February and March, right? So he sold more than those 48 apps, by the way. Those are just what he sold on those call-ins taken in January. So when you factor in follow-ups and rewrites, referrals, all that sort of thing, Ben got to the $63,686 annual premium mark. And if you want to learn more about Ben and how he runs his business and how he tracks his business, to know his numbers and to be able to take that many calls and put up that amount of premium, search our YouTube channel for his video called How to Gain Certainty in Your Life Insurance Telesales Business, okay? We'll link to it at the bottom of this YouTube video as well so you can click through. So congrats Ben on the #2 spot. #3 was Jacob G. So Jacob is an agent in one of our LOA call rooms that we support. So he takes TV calls, same call queue, same everything as every other agent in Digital BGA, and he put up $54,000 in premium. And just missing Jacob was Jennifer B. Okay, Jennifer, gosh, you just missed the top 3 here. But Jennifer generates her own leads from Facebook that goes directly to her own website, to her landing page, right? It's branded with her agency name on it, okay? This isn't Facebook leads that you generate on Facebook where it pre-fills the form, you know, and within 5 seconds, you know, they're back to scrolling, right? This isn't one of those leads. So she's paying more for these leads because it's taking her off Facebook to her own website, and she's just been working with that, A/B testing, working on landing pages, working on copy and all that. And in January, she generated 438 of those leads, okay? From Facebook to her website, right? Branded website. She turned 36 of those into sales for an 8.2% closing rate, all right? Big month, Jennifer. $53,000 in premium. You add up follow-ups and everything from previous months, that's how she got there, all right? So the rest of the top 10 are Digital BGA affiliated brick and mortar agencies, okay? They're all taking our TV calls. So they're paying the same price for our calls. They're in the same, you know, taking the same leads and the same call queues as everyone else. In fact, there's several brand new licensed agents within the past 6 months that are in the top 10, right? And what we kind of narrow it down to is they're in a brick and mortar office where they're just feeding off of each other, right? So we're seeing a big rise in, you know, 2 to 3 person call rooms, right? And then scaling from there to maybe 5 people to 10 people, right? And that's what we're seeing with a lot of these call rooms happening. And when you start feeding off each other, you get that live face-to-face telesales training. You're pushing each other, you know, you're not sitting in an office. We're just getting a much more premium, because you can also, if you don't sell a lead, right, maybe somebody else can sell that lead that you just took, right? So you give it to somebody else who might be able to sell that person because maybe you just didn't make a connection. Those are the types of things that are going into these call rooms, and that you can leverage yourself if you want to go that path, all right? So we had a total of 14 agents in the 40K club, and in January, and that's our inaugural 40K club. So congratulations, guys. And we had 11 agents in our 30K club. So let's dig into some of those agents. I want to recognize Rick B. Okay, Rick took 78 TV calls in January and wrote 20 apps for a 24% closing rate. So even more impressive was his average premium. It was over $1,500, guys. So I know he writes all final expense, by the way. I know final expense telesales gets, a rap in the industry for being low premium. You have fixed income seniors buying life insurance and who haven't prepared for their final expenses, right? And you might see, quoted for face-to-face agents, like average premium is $750, maybe $800. Guys, month in, month out, Rick is putting up average premiums over $1,200. This month it was $1,500, okay? And so you do that through a max offer close, so you have your closing. And then you have also just the nature of TV calls. It's a different bucket of seniors that are calling in who are watching these cable networks. They subscribe to cable, they're on TV, they're watching, they pick up, they're calling from their cell phones. They have cell phones, they're paying for all those. It's just a higher quality person calling in. That's how we're getting those higher average premiums, because average premium agency-wide for TV calls has never dropped under $1,100, okay? We're always in that $1,100 to $1,200 range. And, obviously some agents are less, some agents are more. Rick is more at $1,500, all right? You also have Jared F., who took 108 TV calls in January, wrote 26 apps for a 24% closing rate, all right? So he hit the 30K club as well. And Jared, I believe that's the first time you've done that. So congratulations, Jared. I also want to give a shout out to Philip C. All right, he cracked the 30K club as well, taking a mixture of TV calls and our new TV missed call-ins, okay? So I'll get into that in a second. So he took 52 TV calls and he wrote 17 apps for a 32% closing rate, guys. About 1 in 3 of the calls he took, he wrote an app on, okay? He wrote another 9 apps working our TV missed calls as well. So these TV missed calls are just like they sound. Somebody calls in and we don't pick up. Maybe they hung up before somebody picked up, or the person whose turn it was in queue took too long, or maybe they were away, one of those things. But we get, a couple hundred of those a day of where we just don't pick up the phone, okay? So that goes within minutes. It gets posted to a CRM and you call them. And guys, these are phone numbers. These are people that pick up because they called from the phone number that they answer, right? When you call into a TV commercial, likely calling from your cell phone. And in fact, 85% of the people who call into our TV commercials are calling from cell phones. So you're going to get the number that they called in on and likely pick up. So we're seeing a high contact rate and a very high sales rate, more than any other outbound lead for final expense that we've seen, okay? These are exclusive to DigitalBGA. TV missed call leads, guys. Get them for under $10 here, all right? So I also see in the 30K club, Brooke C, okay? So Brooke, I'm just gonna tell a story from yesterday that I saw. He wrote 5 Mutual of Omaha child whole life apps on his client's grandchildren. So he sold the client, then he wrote 5 apps for using our Mutual of Omaha text-to-sign process exclusive to DigitalBGA, right? And a lot of agents don't go after that, right? But here's a 30K producer writing these $200 to $250 annual premium apps for grandchildren. Sure, he wrote 5 of them to get to $1,200 in premium, but it just goes to show you it's not all about the doubles, triples, and home runs, right? You got to hit some singles in there, and those singles add up, especially if you didn't pay for that acquisition cost, right? He already sold the person who called in. This is just gravy on top of it. Okay, well done, Brooke. And I just wanted to put that example in there because I think it's important for agents to understand and not skip over those smaller applications and learn to even ask about grandchildren or children, right? And see if they need coverage or if they want to protect them, all right? So let's dig into the 20K club. So 20K club is anybody who did over $20,000 of premium but less than $30,000 of premium, all right? So I see Vanessa P, all right? Vanessa, she's an independent agent. She took 64 TV calls and she wrote 19 applications for a 29% closing rate in January, okay? And I know that number will rise with her follow-ups. So great ROI, Vanessa. Great to see you up there in the 20K club, all right? I see Jeremy F up there. So Jeremy won our SBLI contest in January by writing over $6,000 in SBLI premium over the course of 3 days. So we did a contest where whoever wrote the most SBLI premium in 3 days, or I should say issued the most SBLI premium in 3 days, won an all expenses paid trip to the Mayan Riviera in March. So Jeremy's gonna be joining us in March. It's great to see him here on the 20K club as well, all right? Let's move on to the 10K club, okay? So these are where agents issue less than 20K, but more than 10K, all right? First that stands out, I see Zanetta out there. Zanetta wrote a $94,000 IUL, all right? The target premium was under $20,000 though. So that put her in the 10K club, okay? Really cool case. I'm sure she helped somebody, with their tax-free savings going into retirement with an IUL. So I also see Shane G. Okay, so Shane sells from overseas. He's in Medellin, Colombia, or somewhere in Colombia. I believe it's in Medellin. But he's got a team of local Colombian people who are calling his leads for him, right? They're calling and they're teeing him up. They, get through a lot of the presentation and then tee it up when it's time to start quoting and whatnot. So, Shane, I project to see Shane in the 20, 30, 40K club in the next few months because he's just getting that set up and it's going really well for him, okay? But guys, you can do this working overseas. Really cool story, and there's several agents that are doing it. Heck, I'm in the south of France right now shooting this video and running the business, okay? And just scanning through this, I'm seeing a bunch of agents in the 10K club who also wrote a bunch of Medicare, a bunch of ACA, and just cross-selling a lot of cancer plans and all that. So this is just life insurance production. We're not even factoring in our ACA or Medicare or any sort of ancillary type sales in these numbers. So congratulations to everyone who hit the leaderboard in January 2023. Guys, we're off to a hot start here. And, for those on the outside looking in, I wanted to provide some color to these leaderboards because I see a lot of leaderboards posted out there, but nobody knows exactly what they do, how they get there. Hopefully this kind of helps people see kind of what some agents are doing, what some of the closing rates are like, what some of the leads they're working, and just hearing some quick agent stories about them on the leaderboard. If you like these videos, you want us to do more of these leaderboard videos every single month because we do them internally in DigitalBGA. I wanted to try and do one out here to see if there's any if this helps anybody out there, if it helps to inspire people, if it helps to understand what other agents are doing, leave a comment below and we'll keep doing these, okay? I hope everybody has a great February.